Hi Aries, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing something a little bit different, so let me know what you think about it. We are going to be working here with channeling the divine, channeling your intuitive powers for this time. So I'm going to be using the cards, the tarot, chakra energy to really see how to center ourselves, how to channel the divine, how to become more connected spiritually within this world, to become more powerful, kinder, wiser people, because that is just something that will raise the energy vibration of ourselves individually, but also of the world as a collective whole. This is a place for kindness, for peace, for harmony, to have that, again, energy vibration increase, to have a place where we can kind of recharge, because the world can get heavy, it can get dark, it can get overwhelming, and this is a place to come and connect and see where divinity is saying, you need to pay more attention here, look at this, look at that, connect this way to elevate ourselves. So let me know what you think about it. Leave those comments in the comment box below. That'd be great. And so, yeah, let's start. And if you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. I want to apologize again for my voice. I'm getting over the flu. Okay. So let's let the bowls sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Aries. Connecting with their intuitive power. August 16th to the 31st. Aries. Connecting with their intuitive power. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. Aries, connecting with their intuitive power. August 16th to the 31st. Aries, connecting with their intuitive power. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Aries, connecting with their intuitive power. Aries. August 16th to the 31st, 2021. Aries, connecting with their intuitive power. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Aries, connecting with their intuitive power. August 16th to the 31st, 2021. Aries, connecting with their intuitive power. Angels and spirit guides. Show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Fantastic. At the bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The middle, our heart, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So this is going to be the energy that surrounds us in all these corners. So at our roots, we have the Emperor, which is us. The very essence of ourselves is going to be rooting us during this time. And we have the Tower, a lot of change coming in. So as we're connecting with our intuitive power, we're decluttering our inner sacred space. We are looking at a lot of the traumas, a lot of the dramas that have shaped us and made us who we are. And we're also seeing the power from there. It's the power from pain. And I don't mean that things have to happen to make us powerful, but the fact that we step out of darkness, the fact that we keep going, the fact that we choose kindness, love, respect, and responsibility, that's a powerful thing. And it moves us in the inner self to the Six of Pentacles and to the Eight of Pentacles. This is all about prosperity in our inner selves, working towards balance, towards understanding, towards really seeing what we've been fighting for, what we've been working towards, what we've been building for ourselves. It brings us then to our emotional selves, which is the Ten of Cups. It's accepting happiness as we see it, as we want it, as we desire it. And the Four of Swords, stepping back, also understanding the hurts and the pains and the disappointments that we have been through, the things that have overwhelmed us, the things that have denied us, the things that have made us doubt ourselves. Then we have the Lord of Shadows, which is the Death card in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. This is Scorpio energy. So if we have Scorpio within our natal chart, this is going to be coming up quite powerfully. We have the Three of Pentacles, the three aspects of ourselves, the maiden, the mother, the crone. For all human beings, it is the youth, the adult, and the wisdom. And then we have the Tower once again. Things are changing. Things are chaotically moving in a way that we may not want them to during this time period. This is going to be a time where we don't have that control. And as an Aries, we want that control. We want to say, this is this, that is that. I am the emperor, I am the lord, I am the ruler, and I am, the lord of battle. The god of battle, Aries, is the god of battle in Greek mythology. We're going to want to make order out of the chaos. And sometimes we just have to let things be chaos. And that's going to be a really hard thing to understand, to say, you know what? Some things don't make sense, and they're not ever going to make sense. I respect that. And either I can try to unravel that later on, but I need to move forward for me, for what I'm working towards, for what's sacredly important to my inner innate self. So let's look at the energy that's going to kind of be tripping us up during this time, the energy to be mindful of. What is the energy that Aries needs to be mindful of while connecting with their intuitive power? August 16th to 31st, 2021, Aries. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. This is the King of Pentacles, Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. It doesn't mean that we have to be mindful of all Earth sign energies, though for some of us it may come as a bit of a warning. What we have to be mindful of is getting too caught in the material, getting too caught in the dollar signs of everything. How much money am I making? What house do I live in? What car do I drive? Everything like that. Yes, sometimes we need to focus on money because we need to pay our bills and we need to keep our families safe and we need to survive. Yes, but making the material our only goal, that's going to be something that we need to step back from, that we need to kind of reevaluate, because it can become all consuming and we're going to be really drawn to people who we see as successful, as powerful, as making it, and they're not us. But we're going to think, okay, but I can do that, but I can copy that, I can be that, and we're just going to be diminishing our own energy while we're trying to be somebody we're not. Stepping into our own power, stepping into our own understanding, stepping into the reason why we're here on this earth, which is different than the reason why anybody else is here on this earth. That's a powerful thing. And it doesn't boil down all the time to the almighty dollar. It leads us then to our chakra energy. What is the chakra energy for Aries as they connect with their inner intuition? August 16th to the 31st, 2021, Aries. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. And it's self-mastery. It's a sense of, this is the solar plexus chakra, but it's a sense of having ourselves become in alignment, looking at the chords that are in discord or out of harmony with ourselves, and why. Why are we struggling? Why is there hurt there? Why is there a broken heart? Why is there always a headache? Why do I feel stiff? Why is it that I'm not moving forward the way that I want to? Some things could be medical issues, absolutely, but sometimes it's our body saying, I've had enough. I've had enough, and I'm overworked and I'm underappreciated, and I don't want to keep on going. I don't want to keep on doing the same thing and having more stress and more stress and more stress put on me. It's a time that we start to listen to ourselves in a way that nobody else does. in a way that says, I respect the hurt and the pain that I've been through. I respect the chronic hurt, I respect the chronic tiredness. I respect all of this. And I'm finding an alignment for me. I'm finding a way that my body can be in balance with my world and that I can reach my full potential. This might even lead to kind of doing a total rehaul with the way that we eat. A way that, and I think food is astoundingly important, what we fuel our body with can make or break us. How we drink, the liquids we put into our body, what we nourish ourselves with, but also the herbs and the vitamins that we take. Finding that alignment and really respecting that, respecting ourselves and our desires and the way that we want to move forward and the person that we want to be. And knowing that it is okay to take time for ourselves. Not to be stuck in pain and hurt, but to be respectful and open and honest with what we're doing and the way that we're moving forward and what's blessing us and what's hurting us and what's overwhelming us. And it leads us to seeing us in a way that most people don't see themselves. It leads us here as we connect with our intuitive power to say, who am I? And not just, what do I do? What is the things that drain my energy? Because that's kind of how we define ourselves. What is the things that call my attention? How much money do I make from this? And God forbid, we're, a housewife or a home carer or somebody who doesn't make a lot of money or somebody who stays home and raises their children. That's not seen as something that is powerful or purposeful. And yet it's everything. It's the next generation. So starting to give credence and value to the self, that's important. Saying, you know what, this might not be the job that I want. We might be in situations where we just can't wait till a time in our life when we can break free from that, where we can move forward in a new way, in a powerful way for our inner souls, for our inner selves. But here, I'm honoring the path that I am on now. I'm honoring the person that I am. And I'm seeing the purpose that is within me. Because if you start looking at things, and I know people say this all the time, but if you step back and you look at how much it would cost to have somebody else, do everything that you do, all of a sudden there's worth, and yet you're not getting that paycheck. So if you're staying at home taking care of your kids, that's valuable, and you have to see it as such. And if you're, going to work and making the money, that's valuable, and you have to see it as such. It's starting to value ourselves, not from the way that other people see us, but from that own shining light inside. And that's connecting us with our own intuitive power. Because if we're coming from a place of constant battle, of constant heartbreak, of constant hurt and pain and disappointment, and I'll show you, we can't connect. And so this is a time where we claim our throne and we say, I rule. I rule my life because nobody gets to rule me. I rule my path forward because there's a light and there's a beauty and there's a brilliance to me that gets to be seen. And that shatters. That shatters other people's expectations. That lets us see the tower time that we have been going through, that we have went through, that we might be in right now, where we're being tested, where divinity has taken us out of our comfort zone and said, you're going to change. You're going to grow. And it's not going to necessarily be in the way that we want to. And the change isn't necessarily bad. It's just uncomfortable. But again, that isn't a bad thing. When we do something that takes us out of our comfort zone, like when I started doing YouTube videos, oh my goodness, this scared me beyond the realm of existence. I was shaking when I first started. And now it's beautiful. And so if we do something that scares us, that, takes us and puts us in a place that, we, not in a place, but emotionally makes us feel like, oh my gosh, can I do this? Am I in over my head? That's when we start to see ourselves change. That's when we start to see ourselves grow. That's where we start to see ourselves being empowered. And so the tower can be a negative thing. Yes, it can be a horrible time that we've had to go through. But it's also a time that we step out of the darkness, that we step out of the chaos. And all of a sudden, we're stronger, we're better, we're more forceful, we're more focused, we're more determined than we have ever been. And people look at us and they're like, wow, you've changed. Or there's something about you that's changed. Like, did you get a different haircut? What's changed about you? And it's not anything external. It's the energy internally that we're radiating outward from, that we're radiating out into the world. And it brings us to our hard work and our dedication. This is a time, if, let's say you love herbs, this is a time to start kind of keeping a little book of herbs and their meanings and, what you've planted and their healing properties. If you love the tarot, this is the time to start, either keeping a little journal or just doing little tarot readings for yourself every single morning, getting up and throwing the cards or throwing the runes or, doing something, connecting with spirit, meditating. You could do rune yoga, which I thought was super, super cool. Or you can just do yoga and connect with your body, connect with the flexibility of yourself and your spine, and start to let that energy flow through you. This is what we're working towards. And this is saying this is a time to start creating, to start cultivating, to start, building. And we're going to see that so much comes out of this building. So much comes out of the wisdom that is guiding us and leading us. And so many revelations kind of come our way without us even expecting it. So this is a time where the hard work pays off, but we have to connect. And this is not a time to make it perfect. It's not saying, you have to do it perfectly. Everything has to be neat and tidy. And the book that you get to write your notes in has to be, so fancy or anything like that. Get an old notebook that you don't mind ripping out the pages from, but kind of stop yourself from doing that. Just like make a big X through the page if you need to. Because when you go back and you're looking at it, your older, wiser self goes back and looks at your younger self, even if it's just a week down the road, and you're looking at it and you kind of laugh and you say, oh wow, I wrote that down, or oh, I thought that was important, but it really wasn't. We get to learn and we get to see ourselves learn without being so hypercritical. This is that time. This is the time when the hard work pays off. This is a time for cultivating and crafting and building and exploring and understanding and finding the balance and realizing I don't need handouts. I don't need anybody to come in and give me what I'm lacking, because I'm finding that balance within me. It's that deeper wisdom coming forward. It's that deeper sense of the self and the prosperity and the bounty. And there's a sense here of stepping out of almost a feeling of poverty, a feeling of I can't have. I need help, or I need somebody to show me. This is a time where, yes, somebody shows you, and it's your own light within. It's starting to kind of stoke that flame higher and higher and higher. It's finding that balance. It's saying, okay, what is it that I'm doing that's causing me to feel upset or overwhelmed or kind of making me go crazy? And why am I doing this? And why is this happening? And we find that balance, we find that harmony, and we start to balance the scales. And that's going to be something that can be a little bit tricky for us. But we also start to see the corruptive energy that's taking away from us, that's holding us back, that's denying us, that's kind of like clamping our tongue down when we want to be able to express ourselves. So, excuse me. Ooh, okay. So that's going to be something that's important, because here the scales aren't. Ooh, let me take a drink of water. I do apologize. The scales aren't necessarily balanced. And at times, this can feel like, oh, I'm giving my attention to this area and not to that area. And I need to give equal attention to both. Well, sometimes we need to pay attention to one thing and then move forward to the other. We're going to see the balance, and we have to first start off with the harmony in ourselves. It again isn't going to come externally. We're going to really want it to, but it's not. It's going to come from the internal, and it leads us to the heart. And the heart is saying, follow what you love. Now, this might not be able to pay the bills. This might seem like the biggest bunch of malarkey that everybody always says and yet never gets to come true. But if we start to look at what we love, if we start to look at what gave us joy, even if we just think about it for a little bit and think about when we were children, what did we do that gave us so much joy? Did we play with our dogs? Did we, color? Did we, do whatever, go bicycle riding? What gave us joy? And how can we incorporate that into our lives? Even if we can't like go bicycle riding, even that's physically not possible for us. If we start to just daydream of us out in the sun, riding our bikes, being free and having fun like children, and just letting that smile come over our face, just letting that energy come over us when we're in the office, when we're, stuck in a chair, when we're, not able to do what it is that we love, to be able to take that energy vibration and let the heart shine, that's going to be something that's brilliant. When we start to focus on what makes us happy, not what everybody else thinks should make us happy, but what truly brings us joy, truly makes us laugh, truly, brings brightness into our world. That's the 10 of Cups. The 10 of Cups is, and they all live happily ever after. But everybody's happily ever after, though it is constructed around the word happiness, is not the same. And it brings us to the 10 of Swords. It brings us to a more melancholy emotion. And that's understanding all the hurt and the pain and the disappointment that we've been through. And I love this depiction of it, the swords becoming the wind chimes, because it's kind of like that which I used to defend me now becomes the song that the wind sings. The song that the wind sings is what inspires me now. So all my hurts and all my pains and all my disappointments, when I take the time to listen to the wind chimes, when I take the time to step back, to steady myself and honor myself and open up my mind and my ideas, I start to see beauty leading me forward. I start to see passion guiding me. I start to see myself openly and honestly with everything that I have been through, every hurt, every pain, every disappointment, every joy, every laughter, everything in between. And I give myself honor for being the warrior that I am. I step back. I don't have to always be the best. This is a time where it's not about being perfect. It's not about being the best. It's not about showing everybody. It's about connecting with the self and letting happiness come through. Because people who have everything that you think, wow, they must be the happiest people, sometimes are the most miserable. And I can tell you that with certainty. Because they're always striving. They're always pushing out that happiness more and more. They don't have it within, and you can't get it externally. And so we start to honor the path that we have been on, the path of hardship, pain, disappointment, doubt, despair, the path of humanity, the path of life. And it leads us in the public arena to the death card. In the public arena, the person that we are is not the person that we were. And we can spend our life mourning that. I'm not the same person. This was harder than I imagined it would be. Have you ever heard yourself saying that? I know I have. When I'm doing something that I thought, I wanted with every single ounce of my being, and I think, wow, this is so much harder than I thought it was going to be. If I knew it was going to be this hard, would I have fought this hard for it? Would I have wanted it this much? And yet there's a part in us that can't walk away from it. It's like, but I love it. But it's taking every ounce of my emotion and my energy and my being and my essence and myself. The death card is transformation. Sometimes it's a painful transformation, but it is always a powerful one. We see that everything has its ending. Everything has its place and its time. It's like the seasons. The seasons don't last forever. They change and they morph and they let us appreciate when spring comes and summer comes and then fall comes and winter. We get to appreciate the change. We get to appreciate the change within ourselves, even if at times we don't want it. Even if at times we think, oh, it was better when. We tend to look at things with rose-colored glasses. This is a time to step back and look at the transformation and look at kind of the battle scars that we have emotionally, that we have through knowledge and understanding. And it's like, okay, I earned these. This is not bad. This is not bad. The wrinkles on my face are not bad. The, lessons that I have learned, the wariness, the wisdom that I hold is not bad. I'm not a naively trusting child that just jumps off, the changing table without knowing that anybody will catch them and just thinks that I'm always going to be safe. I know I've fallen, I've hurt, I've despaired. And now I get to live because I understand. And I haven't been stopped. I haven't been broken. And even if I have been broken, I've put myself back together as best I can. I've transformed. I've been reborn. And that's what the shadows teach us. And it brings us to the Three of Pentacles in the public arena during this time. To connect with who we were, who we are, and who we will be is very important. Not to live for the illusion of who we will one day be, and not to live trying to make amends for our past mistakes or trying to fix the past because we can't in any way, for any way that we think we should. Okay, wasn't this enough? I wasn't that enough. We're not trying to outrun our shadows here. What we're doing is we're looking at ourselves and we're standing in our power. And we're saying through the power of three blessings, of three understandings, of three phases within life, though you could say that there's a million more. Through the power of three, through the power of me, I transform. Through the power of connecting with others, through the power of understanding that I haven't made it here all by myself, but I am not beholden to anyone. That becomes strength, that becomes integrity, that becomes purpose, that becomes focus. We live with a purpose because we need a purpose for tomorrow. Human beings do, and also it's good to plan. It's smart. But to live in the present of now, to live in the beauty and the power of now, to be that person that says, this is what I have, this hour, this minute, this second, and I'm going to get to embrace it, express it, embody it. That's extraordinary. So many people live for tomorrow, for vacation, for whenever. They don't live for the now. To embrace that power of the now, that becomes an extraordinary thing. And that lets your light shine tremendously. We have the tower coming in again. And this is the wild hunt. And the lore of the wild hunt is being caught up in it. It's on Halloween, I believe, yes, where the hunt would go out and it would just take up people, and people would be wild and crazy. And it's looking at that wild, crazy kind of shadowed self that Jung talks about. And it's seeing it. It's seeing the craziness within us. It's seeing the darkness within us. It's seeing the chaos within us. It's seeing the tower, the way that we could fall. If we let ourselves just absolutely go off the rails, if we let ourselves fall down, sure. But it's also seeing all the ways in our life that we have embraced times where we had to call on that warrior spirit. And Aries, you in particular, that's what I really admire about Aries energy, is the force and the tenacity and the focus and the determination that you have. It's extraordinary. And when you focus it, when you embrace it, you can crumble towers. You can, you can break down barriers like nobody else. And that's extraordinary. And so here, that's what Spirit is saying. That's what we have to do. We are breaking down the barriers that hold us back. We are moving forward in tenacity and greater understanding and focus and in force. This is a time where, yes, we can be pushed out of our comfort zone, and we will be pushed out of our comfort zone. This is a time where we can question and think, wow, is everything that I'm doing, for nothing? What is my security? What is my stability? What is my desire? And we can question ourselves and take ourselves out of the moment and the happiness and the beauty that is us. Or we can look at it and we can say, I'm the force that leads me forward. There's a wildness within me. If I harness it, if I focus me, if I live in the present instead of in the future or the past, then all of a sudden I break down barriers like nobody else, and I move forward like a warrior. And so to connect with the intuitive power during this time is to connect with the heart, to understand the pain, and to say, but this is me, openly, honestly, and truly. Now, the subconscious energy that we are to be mindful of is the Queen of Swords. We need to be mindful of getting way too much in our own heads. Now, these will all be taken negatively. These aren't going to be, because when we have to be mindful of something, it's the negative aspect. So it's getting too much in our own heads. It's letting ourselves kind of be a little bit wishy-washy. And it's also letting our temper get out of hand. It's letting the fires be stoked to, rage across the land. We even have the fires back here. So that's what we have to be mindful of. We have to be mindful of what we are dedicating our energy to and why. How we are moving ourselves forward and why. And it leads us. And also, we have to be mindful of not falling into the gossip of others. Not letting other people's words bring us down, destroy us, move us. It leads us to our subconscious chakra energy, which is psychic development, which is kind of what we're talking about here, right? We're talking about embracing our intuitive power, embracing our psychic development. It's through the third eye chakra. Excuse me. And the third eye chakra here is saying you are developing psychically during this time, subconsciously, as you connect, as you evolve, as you embrace. You are breaking down barriers. You are connecting in a powerful, purposeful way. You are opening up doors. And that's really, really cool. So here, it's just connecting. It's visualizing purple light all around you. It's visualizing your third eye opening up. It's letting yourself trust your intuition instead of thinking, oh, that voice is stupid, or that's so silly, I can't believe this. We are taught to kind of stoke down our intuition so that most of us don't even listen to it anymore. Now it's time to let it sing within us. Let it guide us. It moves us to our subconscious rooted self, which is the Fool. We can feel foolish as we go after our dreams, as we, develop, as we embrace our spiritual self and our psychic self, our intuitive self, as we let ourselves move forward in expression and understanding. But as always with the Fool, nobody who becomes the hero is not first the fool, is not first mocked and laughed and ridiculed, but to embrace our power, to embrace our intensity and purpose and tenacity. Well, that's everything. And so here, through the change and as we embrace ourselves, we're going to see that we kind of have to go down the rabbit hole just a little bit. Not in that bad, toxic way, but in that way that opens up ideas, in that way that pushes us forward, in that way that brings us to a new level. And it brings us to our subconscious inner self, the Three of Wands. Newness comes in. New ideas start to guide us. New inspiration leads us forward. We start to be inspired. We start to see things differently. We start to take risks and go after. This is the time. Seize the day. It's going to be really cool. Subconsciously, we need to be looking at changes. Our subconscious emotional self is the Two of Cups. Balance, unity, falling in love with the sacred masculine and sacred feminine aspects of us, falling in love with our spiritual purpose, falling in love with our lives and our devotion to what we want and what we're creating within this earth. It brings us then to our subconscious public arena, and it's the Page of Wands. That's us. We're being a student here as much as we are a warrior, as much as we are, the very embodiment of the essence of ourselves. We are, the Page of Pentacles, so this isn't us, this is Earth sign energy, but it comes through as we are the student. We are the student of the seeds that we are planting. We are the student of the prosperity that we are building. We are the student of the bounty that is leading us forward, and we have to embrace that. The Page of Pentacles is being the student of the prosperity that we're calling into our lives, and we are calling in great prosperity by being able to trust and embrace and embody our intuitive power, to being able to open up that door and let the wealth come in, spiritual wealth, personal wealth, and hopefully financial wealth. All right, Aries, I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace our intuitive power and as we open up that door to the next chapter. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Aries.